Good afternoon, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom, enjoying the AC today because it's pretty hot and humid outside. It's the end of September, September 23rd, but in South Mississippi, that still means it feels like summer. Let's take a look at those current temperatures right now. We have temperatures as of 2:30, upper 80s, several areas in the low 90s, and it's also pretty muggy today. That's been making it feel even hotter. Even though today is not, technically the first full day of fall, definitely does not feel like fall outside. We have the heat index right now, upper 90s, even in the triple digits in a few spots. And because we have some higher humidity, we have higher dew points, we are not going to be able to cool down as much this evening. So once we get past the sunset this evening, our temperatures generally going to stay in the 80s on the coast. We'll likely see some 70s a little bit farther inland. By early Wednesday morning, we're going to be starting off the day in the low to mid 70s, and you will notice it feeling a little bit more muggy along the coast tomorrow. If you have plans to take the boat out this evening, you can expect a light chop with winds out of the south and southeast at about 5 to 10 knots. We're looking at seas roughly at about 1 to 3 feet, so a light chop expected. And we will be coming up on high tide late tonight into very early Wednesday morning. Low tide will be happening throughout the later part of Wednesday morning. And our water temperature at this time still remains very warm in the mid 80s. Really not seeing any rain on First Alert radar this afternoon, which that's good news if you have plans to be outside. And this evening our rain chances are looking slim. That being said, we really need more rain here in South Mississippi. I am happy to say that by the end of Wednesday and into Thursday, we've got a decent chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And what we're watching is this area of low pressure and a cold front pretty far to our north and west at this time. Now, associated with that warm front, we can see some showers and thunderstorms to the east of that. That cold front is going to be getting closer to us by Thursday and then eventually pushing through by Friday. But Thursday, it looks like that's the day where we will have the best chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms. Now, ahead of that front, it's going to be very warm. It's also going to be humid. That could set the stage for a few strong thunderstorms late Wednesday night, possibly also throughout the day on Thursday. The overall risk is low for organized severe weather, but I'm not going to rule out a few strong thunderstorms with some gusty winds being the main concern. Again, I think a lot of us can get excited about some rain finally in the forecast. I've heard from a lot of people on social media, Facebook, my own personal experience, my yard, my plants really need more rain. So hopefully we can get a little bit of a dent in our drought by the end of Wednesday and into Thursday. That's not going to be the case this evening. Still very warm and humid, but rain chances pretty much slim to none. And because it's going to stay humid overnight tonight, we may only cool down into the mid to upper 70s on the coast. Farther inland, you're more likely to be in the low to mid 70s. It's going to be another hot and humid day tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures upper 80s, low 90s. The high humidity causing the heat index to be in the upper 90s, maybe even the triple digits once again. Now, as that cold front gets closer to us on Wednesday, we will see a better chance of a few more showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be on the strong side, but again, as the front gets closer to us on Thursday, that's when we expect to have our best chance of rain. These scattered showers and storms are going to be possible starting in the morning, on and off throughout the day on Thursday, and again, some of those could be on the strong side. Now, that front is going to slowly push eastward by the end of Thursday and into Friday. And even on Friday morning, if the front stalls nearby, we may still get a few more showers and storms to start off the day. By the end of Friday, things are looking drier. And behind the front, we do expect a pretty decent drop in our dew point. So by Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday, the humidity is going to be lower. It's not going to feel nearly as muggy outside with dew points in the 60s and 50s. So at that time, it will be feeling a little bit more like fall. Not really expecting a big drop in temperatures necessarily, but the drop in the dew point is going to make it feel much more comfortable by the end of Friday and into this upcoming weekend. And with that drier air moving in this weekend, our rain chances go right back to zero, which is great news if you have weekend plans. I'm hopeful we can get some more rain on Thursday. We may even increase our rain chances a little bit more. We'll have a complete update on the forecast as well coming up today at 4 o'clock on WLOX, so hopefully you can join us then for that. But by the end of the weekend into the weekend, that's when our rain chances are going to be lower. Once it's all said and done, I would say many of us picking up about a ½ an inch of rain, give or take a little bit on each side, possibly as high as 1.5 inches. That would more so happen in some of those stronger thunderstorms. Not everybody necessarily going to see that heavy rainfall, but even if we were to get a ½ an inch of rain, at least that makes a little bit of a dent in our drought. As of today, we have not received any measurable rainfall in Gulfport, nor have we received any rain near Moss Point, Pascagoula. So the deficit of rain for September continues to grow. Our average month-to-date rainfall is over 4 inches for Gulfport, and we are not anywhere close to that. So it may be a little bit until we eradicate that deficit, but at least we have a decent chance of seeing more showers and storms by the end of the week, or I should say by the middle of the week, end of Wednesday and into Thursday. Now in the tropics, we do not have any threats to the Gulf Coast at this time. We do have Hurricane Gabrielle that continues to spin off into the north central Atlantic, and then we have 2 other tropical waves that we're watching for possible development. Neither one of those at this time look to be like a Gulf Coast threat. However, that one highlighted in orange there, East Coast may need to pay attention to that one by the end of the week and into early next week. That area highlighted in red, that tropical wave, more likely to become a depression or tropical storm, but again, does not look like that's going to be a concern or a threat to South Mississippi. Gabrielle, still pretty impressive on satellite, but notice that it's not very symmetrical around the eye. We're seeing a lot more convection on the east side of that. It's been battling some wind shear, so the structure of Gabrielle has become a little bit more disorganized than what it was earlier today. That being said, it's still a very powerful hurricane with winds of 130 miles per hour, still considered a Cat 4 at this time. Once we get into tomorrow and into Thursday, it should begin to weaken even more back into a Cat 2, and eventually we'll see it become a post-tropical system, but some of those remnants may actually make their way into parts of Spain and Portugal. So those areas may be feeling some impacts from Gabrielle, but for the time being, it is going to be remaining out at sea. Then we have one tropical wave, now known as Invest 93L. That is in the open Atlantic. This one does have a pretty good chance of becoming either a depression or a tropical storm. But again, it does not look like it is a threat to South Mississippi. I'll widen out here some of those forecast model plots. Notice they're in pretty decent agreement that that is going to be curving out to sea. That other tropical wave, this one, starting to move into the Caribbean, it looks like. Very disorganized right now. However, once it moves up to the north and west, closer to the Bahamas, it does have a better chance of becoming a tropical system. Now this one also expected to curve up to the north eventually. Where it goes from there, the East Coast needs to pay attention to that the end of this week and into early next week. At this time though, does not look like Invest 94L is going to be a Gulf Coast threat. Now, if one of those were to get named, the next name on the list is Humberto. Also, I need to update that Gabrielle actually is now a Category 4 hurricane. So that makes it the second hurricane and the second major hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season. Again, the next name on the list is Humberto. At this time, there are no threats to the Gulf Coast regarding the tropics. That being said, we still need to be on guard throughout the rest of this month and into the first half of October, where tropical systems are still fairly common. As we get closer to November, we generally don't see as many tropical systems. That's not to say that they can't happen. If you remember, 5 years ago, we had Hurricane Zeta. That was near the very end of October, but generally that's when the water starts to cool down a little bit more and we don't see as much activity in the month of November. But I always recommend staying on guard, especially throughout the rest of September into the first half of October. We will keep you posted if we see anything impacting the Gulf Coast. But knock on wood, that does not look like to be the case this week. I'm happy to say that we have a decent chance for some showers and storms on Thursday. We really need more rain around the area. Beyond that, though, not much rain in the forecast. As we get into the weekend, things are looking drier. The mornings are going to be cooler thanks to the lower humidity, temperatures dropping into the mid to upper 60s. We're still going to be heating up into the upper 80s in the afternoon, but the lower humidity is going to make it feel much more comfortable by the weekend. As for the rest of today and tomorrow, definitely feeling like summer. It's muggy, it's hot. We are not going to feel that true fall-like weather, it seems like, for quite some time, but that's typical for us here in South Mississippi. So time now, right around 3 o'clock. We are a few minutes past the top of the hour. We will be having another update on your forecast coming up today at 4 o'clock. Plus, we've got some guests that we're going to be talking to and also finding out what else is going on here along the coast. So we hope you will join us at 4 o'clock.